With the travel industry getting back to where it should be and international vacations looking more and more attractive after this long period of the global health situation, you might find yourself looking for an exotic land to explore in the not-so-distant future. And why look anywhere other than India, which houses some of the most secret and mysterious places in the world? But where are these little gems located, and what can you do once you find them? Well, whether you're in the process of planning your next trip or just want to know about the most underrated tourist destination in the world, stay right where you are, as we're about to explore the top secret and mysterious places that India has to offer. So strap yourselves in and get ready for the flight, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with the notifications turned on, so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Number 1. The village of White Mao Xiang. The region of Meghalaya is probably one of the most famous regions of India next to Mumbai, and is often considered to be one of the most touristy areas to visit within the country. But while you're planning out your itinerary and jotting down the best places to go, make sure to hold some time aside so that you can relax at White Mao Xiang. To those of you who don't know, which we assume to be everyone watching this video, White Mao Xiang is a quaint little village in East Khasi Hills, where the locals will be more than happy to see the face of a tourist. Suffice it to say, the people from White Mao Xiang don't get many visitors, which is a real pity considering the absolute beauty that the village has surrounded itself with. Take a journey to the village and you'll find yourself transported to a fantastical land where anything is possible, made even better by the enchanting garden of caves and running waterfalls off in the distance. A short hike from the village and you'll come upon a small waterfall that actually runs into a pond surrounded by green vegetation. It is here where you can either take a dip in the pond or eat lunch while you listen to the crashing of the water. It's an experience that you simply cannot beat, as it truly feels like you are living in a different world altogether while spending time there. This trip to White Mao Xiang is especially necessary if you have already spent some time exploring the vast cities within India, which often come packed with more noise pollution than you could ever imagine. So sit back and relax before you make your way back and hear the annoying sound of a hooter once more. Number 2. Umabala Madugu Falls. The next hidden gem on our list is a bit of a mouthful and takes some training to say correctly with a straight face. We are, of course, talking about Umabala Madugu Falls in the not-so-well-known region of Andhra Pradesh. And while these falls might not be as popular or spectacular as the Athrapalli Falls of Kerala, it must be said that they are a lot more calming, with next to zero tourists traveling the distance to take a look at them. They are also surrounded by some of the most beautiful vegetation that you have ever laid your eyes on, which makes a hike up to the Umabala Madugu Falls a definite necessity if you want both exercise coupled with relaxation. This is also a great place to go if you consider yourself to be a bird watcher, as many of the birds indigenous to the area like to collect by the falls, using the water not only to bathe in, but play as well. And there is nothing more relaxing after a long hike than laying in the lush vegetation and watching the birds dart by. You can also feel free to take a dip in the waters, but be careful of your footing as it can be quite slippery. So if you do find yourself in Andhra Pradesh, make sure to finish your trip off with a little adventurous hike to Umabala Madugu Falls. You won't regret it at all. Number 3. The Arvalem Caves. Most tourists who find themselves in the Indian region of Goa spend the majority of their time at the azure blue beaches that the region has to offer. And if you're the type of traveler that likes nothing more than a little bit of baking in the sun, there's no better place to do this than Goa. That being said, the region also brings with it one of the greatest adventures the country as a whole has to offer, which allows visitors to not only view the Arvalem Caves, but learn all about them in the process. To get to the Arvalem Caves, you have to first travel through the green valleys of Goa, which deserve at least some of your time. So don't forget to stop someone and quickly take a sneaky selfie before continuing on with your journey. When actually at the Arvalem Caves, however, you'll relish in the historical relevance of the rock-cut cave system. Although it isn't known for sure, the Arvalem Caves are actually believed to have been a hideout for the Pandavas during their exile from the country. We wouldn't want to give too much away though, so be sure to pay attention to your guide and explore the cave system if you're looking for something in Goa that is more adventurous than sun tanning. Number 4. The Dudh Patri Hill Station. Next up we have the Dudh Patri Hill Station, which is located in an untapped segment of the Budgam district in the region of Kashmir, which is by far the greatest hidden gem that the region has to offer. It is here that tourists are actually able to take a picture that is worthy of a postcard print. The Dudh Patri Hill is covered with a lush green landscape, upon which the most adorable sheep you have ever seen will be grazing. Furthermore, position yourself just right, and you'll also be able to take a picture with the crystal clear river in the foreground and a range of mountains in the background. There are not many other places in the world where you'll be able to take a much better photograph, so make sure you have a few for Instagram so that you can show everyone back home just how beautiful India can be. Number 5. The Idukki Region. The Kerala area in India is drop-dead gorgeous and is referred by some as God's own country. You'll be mostly at a loss for words when discovering what the area has to offer, which includes everything from forested areas to alluring green waters that flow through the region. You'll also find the fabulous beaches of the Malabar coast and the green valleys of the Western Ghats here, which is where you'll also find most of the tourists that may have accompanied you on your trip. If you're looking for a place that is just as beautiful but a little bit secluded, however, take a trip over to the region of Idukki, which has been hidden away in the hills of Kerala. From Idukki, you'll have an incredible view over the green waters of the nearby river, with the drive over to the area being a scenic one at the very least. You'll also find quite a few locals in the area who will be more than happy to tell you about what they do to live in the region. It is bound to be both a relaxing and informative trip, so be sure not to miss out on it. Number 6. The White Waterfalls of Maithon. The region of Jharkhand is not one that is incredibly popular when it comes to tourism in India. In fact, the region is almost never referred to as a go-to destination for vacation purposes. And while it may be true that the region doesn't hold as much significance or fun as the other regions of India, there's no doubt that at least one paradise exists there, which we'd love to put you on your radar. We are, of course, talking about the White Waterfalls of Maithon, which is an area that is part of the broader region of Jharkhand. Although these white waterfalls are pretty aggressive, the water is still definitely swimmable. And since next to nobody comes to this spot, you'll probably find yourself alone with whomever else you're traveling with. So if you're traveling with your significant other and have been looking for a romantic place to pop the question, why not do so at the White Waterfalls? This is an especially good idea if you have no idea how your partner is going to respond, as denial in front of people can be incredibly embarrassing. The solitude of the area could, however, become pretty depressing if you get a no, so maybe try making sure before ruining the moment. Number 7. Chopta in Uttarakhand. The penultimate place on our list of hidden spots in India is the area of Chopta, which can be found in the ignored region of Uttarakhand. This area is perfect for those of you who have an adventurous heart and comes packed with a vast number of trekking trails that lead to some of the most beautiful places that you have ever seen. Move a bit further north and you'll also be treated to a snow-capped trekking expedition. There are more than a few choices for you to make here. You can either choose to hike up to one of the shorter trails or spend the night camping at Tungnath and Chandrashila. Something that sets these trails apart from others on your journey, especially those that require you to camp overnight, is that they run through a selection of small villages from which you can learn more about the region. Experiencing how these villagers survive in the higher altitudes and listening to the various stories they have to tell regarding both their beliefs and their surrounding land can be endearing at the very least. The trek takes on a life of its own depending on what you'd like to get out of it. So, what do you think of some of India's hidden gems? Be sure to let us know in the comments section down below.